I, Doris, swear that I shall be a friend to my fellow Dorises, even at a social distance.
I,
Doris. I shall use my voice to amplify the voices of my fellow Dorises.
I, Doris.
And I, Doris, shall never vote Tory.
I,
Doris.
Just some Doris. You can just ignore us. Don't need to know my name. Girls are all the same. Fags are all the same. Chicks are all the same. Doris is our name.
Hello, and welcome to the Dorising podcast.
Hi, Doris.
Hi.
Hello, Doris. How lovely to see you all. It's been ages.
It has, hasn't it? It's been a while.
It has. It's been too long since our last Dorisy outing.
It has. It's mostly my fault, I'm afraid. I got a horrible dose of the COVIDs.
I mean, that's a pretty reasonable excuse for not doing this podcast, I think.
Yeah, it was rubbish. I'd really recommend not getting COVID.
Okay,
if anyone was thinking of going out there without your mask and just kind of snogging people randomly in the street. That's not how I got COVID, by the way.
Are you sure?
I think I just got it on the school run. But,
Are you feeling okay now, Doris?
I am, thank you. I've still got some weird symptoms. My taste buds aren't what they ought to be, which is a shame because I love my food. There's not many pleasures I have left in life now. Food was one of them.
I can't imagine not being able to taste food. I know it's a really common symptom, but it sounds super weird to me.
So everything just tastes of water. It's like we had beans on toast for lunch the other day with Tabasco in. And we were just like, nice watery beans on watery toast.
And Mr. Doris still not taste either?
No, he's the same. He's no taste buds.
Wow.
But we're ploughing through and we're, stuffing our fat little faces nonetheless.
So, what have we got today for the podcast?
Oh, yeah.
We have got 3 lovely guests. First of all, we've got the lovely Julie Riley, who is sometimes known as I Am Her. We've got the lovely MIRI, who'll be joining us, and maybe even singing us a little song as well, if we ask her nicely.
I like a song.
And then the lovely, lovely Lilith Ai, who also might be treating us to a little ditty as well.
I hope we can. I kind of want to hire her to live in my house forever and sing me lullabies to get me to sleep every night with her lovely voice. That's how I feel about Lilith Ai.
She's got an amazing voice, doesn't she?
Probably won't tell her that because it would be weird.
She might like it, to be fair.
I could go either way. maybe let's not try it. That sounds like an excellent lineup. I'm looking forward to it.
Yay.
And I guess we should maybe point out, because people listen to podcasts at various times, that we're kind of recording this podcast on what seems like a very weird day. So I don't know how you guys feel about today, but it seems very odd to me. So we're on the eve of second lockdown in England, and we're kind of sat waiting for the results of the US election to come in. And it kind of just feels a little bit like we're teetering on the brink and we maybe could possibly fall into the volcano at any given second. Yes? No? Thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of feel like this whole year has been a bit like that, though. So it's almost like, this is kind of a huge momentous day. But there's just been trauma after trauma this year. So I'm not sure that, I kind of feel like I've built up scar tissue.
Yeah, I feel a bit like that. Like we're a bit numb to it. If this day had happened in January, we would all be absolutely freaking out and losing our tiny little minds by now. But now you're like, cool, another hot trash fire. Brilliant, stick it on the pile, off we go.
Oh, and I'm kind of obsessed with the election.
Me too.
Slept, but I don't want to talk about it too much because obviously this will go out after all the results are known. So anything I've got to say at this point will be completely moot. But, fingers crossed for no civil war, basically.
Isn't that bad that is kind of what you consider the best result to be now? If people don't start shooting each other and ransacking the country, then that's worked out quite well, hasn't it? That's really not how things should go.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, sorry, I brought a little bit of gloom into the Doris chat there for a minute, and I'm aware that it should really be about glitter and unicorns and what colour we're painting our nails this week. So awfully sorry.
You know what? I was going to
also-
say that after the last part of the podcast, I kind of felt we'd been talking quite a lot about COVID and everything. I was going to say for this one, let's not talk about COVID at all. Let's just talk about positive things. And then I went and fucking got COVID. It's like, yeah, I want to talk about that. this shit's real.
Also, I don't think you kind of can't avoid talking about it right now because it's shaping everyone's experiences of what we're doing day to day. Like everything is affected by it. So even though we might go, absolutely not, we're going to talk about kittens for a whole episode and nothing else. Like it can't realistically happen because it's like, tell us about all the gigs and tours you're doing. Oh no, we can't because of COVID. So everything, it impacts everything that we particularly as musicians or people who go out and do gigs or that network with other people, like we're so massively impacted by this, as everyone is. But you can't not bring it into the conversation.
And also, we can't help hating the fucking fash,
So true.
Election is going on.
Yep.
It's pretty hard not to think about how much we hate the fash. So,
Can you print us up some t-shirts with that on?
Glittering kittens is all well and good, but,
But actually hating the fash is more important, ultimately. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree. That's a very bold point.
Anyway, should we listen to some music?
That would be delightful. What have you got for us?
Well, the lovely Julie Riley, who's our first guest, has sent over a track, and I actually asked her to send over one of her tracks, but she's such a giving and,
She's a love.
She's a love. That's one thing that COVID has left me with is no vocabulary, whatever. So if I just start talking nonsense, please just fill in the gaps.
I'll just add some random words in and assume that's what you meant, right?
Sure.
Great. I'm going to have such a lovely evening.
Just make it up.
Yeah.
So she's very nice anyway. So she's sent a track by a band that's local to her in Hastings. And this band are called Hot Wax. And they are 3 16-year-olds. And they've made a really cool record. Yes. So that's what she sent us. So should we have a listen to that?
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll see if Julie's around to talk to us about it.
Good plan.
Wonderful.
Get with that boy and keep him sweet.
was great.
Awesome.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
I love that singer's voice.
I can hear.
What can you hear?
The thing on the door that makes
It's
the
the
noise.
doorbell.
The
That's what you
Doorbell,
can
ding
hear.
dong, the ding donger.
Oh my
the
god!
ding-donger. Doris got no words at all this evening.
Right, I'm just gonna sit here and nod. Let's see who's at the door. It's Julie Riley.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Oh,
Julie and a
friend.
dog friend.
Say hello.
So you're in London at the moment, are you, Julie?
I know, it gets a bit confusing, doesn't it? We're trying to move to St Leonard's, but we've basically just got a bolt hole there. And there's 5 in my family, and my children are all young women. So basically we were like 5, mostly adults in this house through lockdown. And by day 90, it was like, we've really got nothing left to say to each other. And in fact, it's just driving us mad. And they're all stuck in the childhood home. So we've kind of, so we're split. My youngest is in St Leonard's. She started college there, so my husband has to stay with her. And I'm here with the eldest and the dog. And in fact, the middle one's just left completely. She's gone to stay with her boyfriend because you can't keep teenagers away from their friends.
No.
So yes, it's all very weird. And the flat there is too small for us all to be in now. It's fun. You know, when kids are tiny, then you can just stick them in a drawer and no one cares. You know, you go to like family of 5 would just arrive at someone's house. It's like, don't worry, we'll just put our children in the furniture. It's fine, and we'll just sleep here on the sofa, and everyone would have us. And then they got a bit bigger, and everyone was like, just stop coming, please.
Broken all your friends' drawers.
Looking Airbnb around the corner.
By the sea, and that's for now. Yeah, anyway. But anyway,
Julie, welcome to the Dorising podcast.
Yes.
Sorry, I did nothing but blabber at the beginning. Thank you, Doris, for having me. I'm just a bit overexcited.
That's what you're here for.
Dorising, as we might call it. But Julie, we haven't met before, so I'm Doris.
I know. I'm sure I've seen you in action so many times. You know, I feel like I know you.
But do you want to introduce yourself for my benefit and for the listeners who
of course so I'm Julie Riley of I Am Her, and it's my dog Leica. So I play with a drummer most of the time, but I kind of perform solo a lot, and I kind of found him because I got to a point of playing solo where I couldn't go any further, and it's like, actually I just need to record my stuff. So anyway, I hooked up with him, and then we put out an album. And before that, I was in a band called Rosa Mota many moons ago in the 90s, on the Camden scene.
maybe I can ask you a horribly cliched question then. Would you like to maybe describe your sound to us?
Oh,
Sound like if no one's heard you before, how would you describe it?
Well, I, always kind of squirm at that, as most people do. But
yeah, it's a dreadful question. I can only apologise.
People need to understand. Yeah, of course. And so I say clearly, I'm not comparing myself to these people, but it's more the ilk of kind of Patti Smith meets PJ Harvey kind of sound, because it's quite pared back, and it's kind of I play an acoustic guitar most of the time just because I couldn't be bothered to work out. An electric guitar's just got too many pedals. There's kind of too many options. I've got to keep this simple, but it's never going to happen. So I just stuck with the acoustic guitar and just shove it through an amp sometimes, and sometimes play with a pedal. But because it is quite pared back like that, it's kind of like how PJ was in the early days, because she's always played a semi-acoustic. And then somebody, in fact, when I did the balcony festival for Lovely Loud Women, the guy that organised it, he went, "Oh, country noir from I Am Her," and I was thinking, down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. Yeah. So that's quite
what
nice.
does that even mean? Has anybody else heard that before? Country noir.
I don't know, but we'll take it. It's that
Dorset
not like,
at night.
yeah, kind of country, but the kind of country you'd do if it was really dark and you were a bit drunk.
Bit Nick Cavey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's much nicer.
Yeah, all right, I got it now. Thanks. I needed the clarification. I genuinely wasn't sure for a moment there what we were going for.
It's funny you mentioned PJ Harvey. The band that you sent over to us, what are they called? Hot Wax.
Yeah.
We were just listening to that just before you joined. And they really reminded me of PJ Harvey. Except, of course, they're all born 5 minutes ago, so maybe their grandmother might have told them about PJ Harvey.
No, they're ridiculously young, aren't they? And just ridiculously good. Yeah, I mean, they might have progressed to being 17 by now, but even so.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Now, do you know what? I've just heard the doorbell.
I
remembered the word for it.
You did. Well done. I'm so proud.
Let's see who's at the door. It's MIRI. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, MIRI.
Hi, Mary.
Hey, hello.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you all?
Good.
Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
We know each other because you, Cassie, put us on the same night at the Queen's Head.
Oh, of course.
And that was my first intro to Mary, and I've been hooked
thanks.
ever since. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
Was that the acoustic gig, or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, no, it's acoustic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a lovely evening, wasn't it?
Yeah. The sound was amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gigs, eh?
I can't help getting all sentimental whenever we mention them.
I know. I get a little bit misty-eyed, frankly, about the whole thing.
So MIRI, for anyone who hasn't experienced MIRI before, explain yourself. Tell us who you are.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I'm a music maker, songwriter, vocalist. I've been working in music for a very long time, and I also do a lot of work within music and mental health. And I also have a background of running live music events. So for, I think it was just under 9 years, my friend and I, we ran a night called Blue Monday every month for LGBTQ women and allies. And we stopped that, I think it was last year, January, you know, when you've just been doing something for so long, and I just felt I needed to kind of focus more on my, musica. So, yeah.
Great. And where are you based?
East London. Yeah.
Excellent.
Where all the cool kids are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I've been here for like 21 years, so I've seen this where I live now, like in Forest Gate. It's changed so much, especially since the Olympic Games. Like we used to have mainly just chicken and chip shops and betting shops, and then the community just got really fed up, and then just created a coffee shop. And And then lots of people who lived in the area for years, like lots of creatives, lots of people from the LGBT plus community suddenly just kind of met each other. And ever since then, yeah, it's been different. I mean, yeah.
You've still got some chicken shops though, haven't you?
Yeah, and that's not to undermine what Forest Gate was before, but I know that when I was younger and when I came out, I didn't necessarily feel comfortable. Like I felt I had to go to Soho, you know, or when I've had like partners, you know, not necessarily feeling comfortable to walk down the street holding hands. Whereas now, you know, just knowing that, like, we've had, I think it's 3 Forest Gate Prides, which again, when I first moved here, well, actually, I wasn't out when I first moved here, but you know, when I did come out, yeah, I just would have never thought that would have happened. So yeah, it's been really lovely to just kind of, yeah, I love Forest Gate, basically. Yay. I'm selling Forest Gate more than myself.
Yeah, we're all going to move tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're all coming to Forest Gate. So,
house
you know,
prices have just rocketed now.
Yeah, through the roof.
I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me. I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. Life can get so rough. You're an angel lost from love. You've cried fear. You broke tears. The world isn't always safe. Being yourself makes you brave and sincere. Coast isn't clear, which is why I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me. I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. The outside isn't always fun. Being inside can feel so numb and closed in. You're not a sin. It's so easy to get choked. Feels so hard not to let it show that it hurts. Hateful words burn, which is why I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me. I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. Da 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 da. I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me. I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me. I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free.
Tell us about the kind of mental health projects that you've been involved in recently.
I guess so there was one organization that I was doing some work for just before lockdown, so maybe just over a year, and that involved running music sessions, or what they'd call like weekly open mics in a mental health hospital. And so I did the ward which had acute patients, and then a ward for women, which was, if I get this right, intensive psychiatric care unit. And that work was incredible, because just connecting to the patients and just seeing how powerful music was or is, and seeing, because some of the patients are quite medicated, and obviously the environment, the staff are incredible, but the environment is quite restrictive. So them having a space where they can just be free, and we'd like dance and have my little egg shakers. And that's something that I was very passionate about. And then for Girls Rock London, I've worked on some of their summer camps. So they work to empower girls, non-binary and trans folk through music. They work with adults and young people. So far, the camps that I've done have been for young people. Was meant to work on the women's or the adults camp, but then lockdown happened. So there's just sort of, I mean, all these things, I kind of do them or get asked to do them because I'm an artist. So it's nice. It's not like years ago when I was working, like doing retail, like I wouldn't just, people don't know, like I wouldn't know I'm a musician. So, I'm still able to kind of be me, which is really nice. If I'm not gigging or in the studio, then it's nice to do work that I feel passionate about, and also that I'm still able to be creative and still be an artist and, support other people.
I just heard the doorbell. I think there's someone at the door.
Another person.
Another guest.
Have a look and see who's there.
She
Look
says,
at her. There she is.
Hello. Hi, Lilith.
It's Lilith Ai. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks so much for joining us.
And
Oh,
and another dog.
It's another puppy. It's our first
Oh.
2-dog podcast.
It is.
I could join in.
It's a momentous day.
And I hope they don't start barking during the thing. I've got 3.
No way. It's a 4-dog podcast.
Oh, I'm
4
outnumbered.
dogs and a cat.
And a cat. There's another cat around somewhere, but I have no idea where he's gone to.
But it needs to go on your
my
shoulder.
goodness.
This one is the cutest.
That is the cutest dog.
Oh, don't let the
You're
other
not
ones
supposed
hear.
to have favourite children, Lilith.
Lilith, what are your dogs called?
Pepper.
Right.
The other one that was just here was Gizmo, and Edith is over there sleeping on the other settee.
Edith is a great name for a dog.
No.
Lucy, your cat looks so cute and so chilled.
Oh, she's
I like the way she's positioned herself so she knows that she's on screen.
She does. She's an absolute tart. All she wants is flutters and attention, so she knows exactly what she's doing here.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad that I managed to track you down after. I didn't tell you what I did today. I replied to a text. I thought I was just replying to you to send you a text. I hadn't realised I was actually replying to a group message that you'd sent out to like a load of your mates that I don't know. So I hugely, I don't know. Your friends. I've been in contact with all of your friends today. I'm so sorry.
And they're like, what? What's happening at 8:30?
I know. So I said, everyone, all of your friends have got this message saying, still for the podcast tonight? And I didn't even say your name. So they've all replied and said, like, who are you? What podcast? What am I doing? And they started phoning me, and I'm quite nervous around phones anyway.
I love it. They're all phoning you saying, yeah, what do you want me to say?
Everyone's
up for it.
We almost got a podcast just full of like 30 of Lilith's friends. We should have given them the Zoom link. It would have been a party. Who knows how that would have turned out?
So apologies to all of your friends and family, or
I'm sure it's
whoever
fine.
was on that list.
It's probably the most exciting thing to happen to them. Nothing much exciting happens now. It's kind of like weird.
Lilith, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and your music?
So I'm Lilith Ai. I've had a bit of a mad year. I will tell you about it at some point, Cassie, but I'm not like there yet where I can tell you all the things that have happened to me this year. It's been, I can't even. But and I make music.
Quarantine, I guess I got nowhere better to be. Quarantine, I don't know why I feel so much weight on me. My head's a mess, my hair's a mess. There's no point in getting dressed if we can't go outside. I wanna go outside. My head's a mess, my hair's a mess. There's no point in getting dressed if we can't go outside. I wanna go outside. Circling thoughts circle around my thousands of ordinary people living on out there. Oh, don't go outside. No one go outside. Do not get close to me. I might have germs, you see, and I won't get close to you. You probably have germs too. We should not be outside. Never go outside. Flowers bloom, 'cause it will be summer soon. You have to smile, even if it's just for a little while. But don't go outside. No one go outside. Quarantine, I guess I got nowhere better to be. Quarantine, I don't know why I feel so much weight on
I spent today building a shed. I leveled the ground. It's been a project I've been wanting to do for a long time. Finally, it's like actually happening. And I leveled the ground, and then I laid the cement today. So I was doing a lot of physical exercise. And then my guitar is totally broken. Like,
Oh no.
No.
I know, and I haven't managed to get it fixed. I bought a new, whatever this is called, pickup, but I haven't managed to get it fixed because everything's been closed because of COVID, and then so I haven't actually. So my guitar's kind of a bit fucked. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know if swearing's a thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, it's a bit messed up, but like, yeah, like, I don't know. I've had a very bad year.
Oh.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it. Not now.
It's a story for another time. Don't worry about it. It's all
Story
fine.
for another time.
Sounds like you're getting some really good skills out of it, though.
Yes.
If you can level concrete and build a shed, I mean, you know, that's something you probably didn't expect to be doing this year. Next year you begin,
No,
I
didn't.
That's something I do.
She'll be building an entire house from scratch with her bare hands next year.
These are very useful skills. I've been trying to get a tradesperson around to do that exact thing in my front garden for months now. If only I knew, I could just. Well, no. In fact, I'm going to call you now.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Just watch a few YouTube videos, get a spade, and you'll figure it out. It's not. I mean, I don't know.
I'd be quite scared of concrete. That's quite hard stuff.
Oh, Doris.
Sorry, my brain is
the
just...
mum jokes. The mum jokes.
I think it might be more the COVID brain fog.
Yeah, my brain has just dribbled out of my ear, I'm afraid. What was left of it anyway?
Fine.
During lockdown, I bought a lot of studio equipment. Well, not a lot, but a little bit of studio equipment, and started recording stuff. I used to just record things in my different friends of mine, like kind of bedrooms or home studios and stuff. But because of lockdown, I ended up getting my own stuff to like do it myself. And that's what I've done. And I've just been putting tracks out. I've put out a bunch of tracks this year. I think I've put out 7 tracks this year. And this is the most one. If I play, I think I'm playing in a minute. And if I do play, I'll play the one that I just put out, which I recorded.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I'll play for you. If I can remember. It might go quite wrong.
We won't know even if you haven't remembered.
Great point.
Lately I've preferred the company of strangers. No one will harm you like him. In the golden light of the sinking sun, skeleton trees flower through the concrete. You were standing there with all the arrogance of you, and self-defeating truth. I wish you said something clever. You should have kissed it all better. Oh, 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 oh. You're grown, you're on your own. Last night I saw my father in the mirror. My temper is too quick. Doctor, give me pills, I'm sick. All good is a state of mind. We are clumsy and unrefined. We children of men. Can we be friends again? Shanks for me, lost and lonely. Oh, oh, you're grown, you're on your own. Oh, oh, grown, you are grown, now you're on your own. You can have it all if you don't want anything. You can have it all if you don't want anything. You can have it all. You can have it all.
Yay! Awesome. Oh, that was so lovely.
Oh,
That's really lovely.
That's really gorgeous.
Thank you.
What a treat.
I just love things like that when it's so simple. It's just the voice and the guitar, but the sound is so full. It's just, there's just no room for anything else. And it was gorgeous. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm definitely not playing a song after that. I'm not.
Oh, Julie,
you are.
I'm absolutely.
Everyone's playing a song.
Julie, you just told us how you got the fancy microphone.
Yeah.
We'll give you a little respite.
All the floors not doing it. Got got much more of a punk ethic going on with all, warts and all.
We love punk and warts.
Yeah, I think
and
punk
all.
and warts. Yeah, I want to hear your song. Like, my guitar's messed up and I can only tune it by ear now because I've got no tuner. And it's
See, you can tune it by ear though, Lilith.
I got this app which I'll give you a link to, which is like I've been doing a lot during this lockdown this year. Like, it's like an app which is like a game, but it's like ear tuning games.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's
great.
really, I really like. It's like kind of like a brain teaser thing, but it's actually all to do with like training your ears. My ears are not that good.
Oh no, that would be great.
So can you basically like is the kind of the end game that you can almost teach yourself to have perfect pitch?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't. But like, because whenever I tune my guitar by ear and then I play it and it sounds fine, kind of, and then when I use a tuner and see if it's how tuned, it's like. It's not in tune. It's not in tune at all. But like, it's like in relative tune to maybe kind of close. I don't know.
Sure.
I will give it to you.
Like, share that information.
Yeah, let us know and we'll share it with the podcast.
Yeah.
You do. It is a thing that you have to learn to listen, which some people are kind of innately much better at doing. And some of us might be okay at doing it, but just too much stuff kind of comes in. I'm always like, my brain's everywhere, which makes me kind of rubbish half the time. But but if you do what you say you're doing, I can imagine that would really help someone like me to help kind of keep that focus and kind of keep tuned into it.
Yeah, it's like me playing to click tracks. I don't even know the click tracks going like this.
I couldn't.
I'm just it's so hard.
No, I couldn't.
I don't know. I wish I'd started playing guitar with a metronome.
God no. Well, how do you do it, Mary? I mean, do you keep time and stuff like that?
Oh, I'm terrible with. I mean, I do in my head, but when I'm sort of having to record keys for a track, I'm not a fan of the metronome. Like, obviously, I need to use it, but I sort of have to really, really concentrate. And then I'm just used to sort of, I guess, that freedom of just, I don't know, flowing with it more so than keeping exact time.
Yeah, see, I can only do that for a few. I mean, I can only do that for a few bars, and then that's my consequence. I have to loop them. It's like basically, I have like 2 chords or like 2 loops, and that's it. That's the whole track. I'm just going to sing over it. And if I'm not doing that, then that's why I work with Jeff, who I work with, who's on drums, because he can just drum along to everything, and he almost can read how out of time I am and just go with it. He's like, just don't worry, just do what you do.
Wow.
And because he actually doesn't like counting either, he goes intuitively by lyrics, which I think is quite unusual for a drummer. But if I get the words wrong to something, he's like, oh no, that's the wrong verse, and he just completely stops dead. And I'm like, well, how many was it? It's like, I'm not counting, I'm listening to what you're singing. So that works really well for me, because I don't have that discipline at all, and now I have the luxury of working with someone who doesn't demand it of me. He just kind of goes with what I do, which makes me lazier again. So actually, it'd be quite good.
I kind of want to throw click tracks in the bin, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be a drummer too.
Of course, you want to throw click tracks in the bin. You are a living click track.
Exactly. Completely out of time, but you know,
it's punk, isn't it? There's no click tracks in punk.
No.
Again, it's the spirit of the whole thing entirely.
Yeah. But it's really impressive when people can do it, you know, and you can, and there is a logic to it, because you can understand. It then does give people the freedom to build tracks at home much easier, because that's what screws me. I mean, so I've given up attempting my own recordings anymore, because it's bloody out of time. It's really hard work.
But, you know, I don't know how to, like, this is one thing that's been kind of good about it, is that I don't know how to, like, comp stuff at all. So everything that I've recorded, like, this year has been, like, takes, which has, like, made me slightly better at playing, but also just, I don't know. It's just different, like, because I can't chop anything up, because everything's just like one take, because I have no idea how you, I'm like, when I managed to actually get it to record and I'm like, yes, I don't actually know really. I just learned from YouTube videos how to record stuff. But actually now that I've kind of bought the like whatever the thing is, I don't really want to go back to studios. It's a Scarlett. It's called.
I know which one you mean. Focusrite. Is it Focusrite?
Yes, that's right.
That's
yeah,
you've got one of them.
Yeah,
Had to check.
Yeah, and it came with like a free version of Logic where you could only do like 8 tracks.
But perfect. I just think if you have any kind of limitation, it's quite good to work with things. Otherwise, it's like a blank canvas. It's like, what are the possibilities? It's like, well, they're endless, and so is your starting point.
Yeah,
and therefore your ending point.
There's no room for more than 8 tracks in Punk anyway.
No, well,
yeah.
I think 8's too many, frankly. But yeah.
But I have this absolutely ridiculous guitar, which is about 100 times cleverer than I am. And I genuinely don't understand what most of the buttons do. I kind of use 4 sounds on it. One is a piano, one is like a space gun. And really that's what I needed to do. Like apparently I can slice tones 64 times over a number of times so that each tone can be thousands of different tones within its own tone, but yet there are also thousands of tones. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Give me the piano sound and the space gun sound and then we're good. Thank you.
Excellent.
Most importantly, the space gun sound.
Most importantly, the space gun. Pew, pew.
Know your palette and just max it out. I think that's quite a good way to go.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe I should take some lessons at some point in learning how to play my own instrument properly, but I also feel that's overrated. I'll just muddle along.
Yeah. There are arguments against kind of knowing too much because there is kind of stuff that comes out of naivety, and there are limitations that come from kind of knowing too much because you're trying to stick to the rules a bit too much. So you don't really. There's a fear of going outside of them, and you don't kind of think outside the box enough. Yeah,
absolutely. That's my point. That's exactly what I meant, and I'm stealing that and using it forevermore now.
Absolutely.
What you just said. Please write that down for me.
Basically, how I trade myself.
It's been more or less the methodology of every single band that I've been in. You know, it's essentially punk, isn't it? It's pick up what you've got.
Make it up as you go along.
And with what you've got, and you know, somehow there's an inner energy and a creativity that comes out.
I must say that's been the logic of every band that I've been in that's been mostly driven by women. A band that I'm thinking Lucy might remember as well, that was very much kind of led by the men, was kind of the opposite of that. It was very
technique
and precision.
Exactly.
And which
is back in the day, Doris
experience.
Back in the day, Doris and I were in a different band together. It's how we met, isn't it? Do you remember those times before we met each other?
Yeah, very different times.
They were very different times, and we were in a very different band, and you know, it was almost like a bizarre level of musical perfection that went on there. And everything, and it was,
and yet we were in the band.
And yet we were in the band.
Amazing.
Eye candy. Take them at the front, turn them down.
Yeah, you can totally get into that, like, you know, technical precision. Then you just get all these dudes noodling away, and it's just so dull. You know, a bit of heart and creativity is.
Yeah,
I think it's about the feeling. I think you can do everything. It's the same with the voice as well. You can do everything technically, but like you say, if there's no heart, if there's no intention, like authentic intention behind what you're doing, I just think it can feel a bit hollow.
Yeah,
if you're listening back to it.
Absolutely agree.
Definitely. Yeah. Shall we listen to some more music then?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Would anybody else like to play us a song?
I don't mind doing mine to get it out of the way.
Go on. Yeah.
And then I can sort of relax.
Oh.
Can you hear that?
No pressure.
Yeah, we can hear it.
So this is Good Ones. I released this last year, and it just always feels relevant to what's going on in the world. And it's also pretty straightforward to sing, and because, you know, we're not gigging at the moment, it's nice to do something that I don't have to, worry too much about. Why do the good ones stumble? Why do the good ones fall? Why do the ones who cause distraction feel nothing at all?
Why do the brave crumble? Why do the brave go unhurt? Why do the cowards prosper in the dirt? I keep on loving, I keep on living for today. Yeah. I keep on loving, I keep on living for today. And we will breathe to feel a brighter day. Oh, light away. Oh, hey. No more sorrow, 'cause we found our way. Yeah, found our way beneath the day. Yeah. We keep on loving, we keep on living for today. Yay. I keep on loving, I keep on living for today. For today.
Oh, dude, that's so good.
Oh, I love
gorgeous.
that.
Very good, Miri.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
Oh, it's nice to hear a bit of sort of positivity, even if it's slightly melancholy and bittersweet.
And what's the keyboard that you're playing that on, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a Yamaha. It's a Yamaha Pieguro MP12.
Is that one of like the electric pianos, or is it a keyboard within its own right? Okay, never mind. Ignore that question.
Does it have a button that goes pew pew?
Yes.
Yes. There we go.
It doesn't.
That's all we
It
needed to know.
doesn't. I wish it did. I would have a lot of fun. I'd be very creative. No, it's the main reason I got this was because I wanted to get a lighter keyboard, and I had I think my other one was the Yamaha, but it was really heavy and I was starting to feel the strain on my back when I was going to gigs. And so my friend was like, why don't you just do a Just Giving to sort of just, to get a keyboard. So I did. And then, managed to get this one, which I'd seen in the shop on Wardour Street.
Very good.
When we could all be around people. But it's definitely lighter, easier to be around.
That's how I ended up with the guitar in the first place, was just this whole keyboard plus keyboard stand equals no public transport.
Yeah, exactly.
Your gigs are suddenly very difficult.
I really want a Nord though. I'd really love to get a Nord. And one of those like backpack cases where you can carry the and with a pow.
And
is
with
that what it is?
Noise. Pew, pew. All you need, I mean, whenever shopping for a new keyboard, that's your base point to start from. Just
ask and be like, have you got it with a button that goes pew pew?
Yeah. And then everything else is kind of secondary after that. Number of keys, how it sounds, the weight of it, secondary.
I think pew pew and weight actually. But I'm
pew pew and weight. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean it is that thing. I think of just the how liberating it is to just be able to. Again, that's why I like just playing with the acoustic guitar. You can just go anywhere. You kind of feel slightly like, oh God, I wish I had a cooler guitar. But it is quite nice to just pop it on your back, get on a tube when you can go on a tube and arrive at where you are with just a guitar and a lead. It's like really.
So Julie, on that note, we couldn't convince you to give us a little song, could we?
Yeah, how about that?
Go on then. I never say no. I'm quite pliable, quite compliant. This is called Red Shoes.
Yay!
Yay!
Awesome.
That was great.
Really great.
And that's a new song, you said?
Yeah. I'm not very prolific, so I kind of started lockdown thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna teach myself Photoshop and all this kind of stuff, and I'll relearn the piano. No, that didn't happen. I'll focus. I'll learn to record more. I'll do some writing. No, one song. I've managed one song.
Well done.
Yeah.
Good one.
I've got a song. I've got another one on the way. But it's like, come on. It's like, no, maybe I'm just a bit slow at this. So
that really seems to have been the way for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, so it's like permanently available, but productivity is kind of like this much, but then of like mental availability that much again. So it's hence I'm now trying to move out of London and be more in St Leonard's, and I just find being outdoors and by the sea and in an environment like that does help me to be a bit more creative. So touch wood.
Did you not mention that you've got a new project? You've got
actually, Cassie, that was kind of, because that was what I thought, because I'd been struggling to kind of get anything going. I thought, well, actually, what I'll do is I'll look back, and so Crown Estate was my first foray back into music after my 90s band thing. and having kids. And I did it, I recorded it. It was almost like a lockdown in itself, because the guy I was working with, Sasha, who used to be in Rosa Mota with me, we were in the band in the 90s. He was in Hong Kong, kind of locked in because his wife was working, and he was the house husband looking after the kid, but in this foreign country, and there wasn't anything for him to do, and he had to keep picking the kid up every day, and he didn't really know many people, and they were only there for 10 months. But it was perfect for me because he was kind of captive and a bit bored. So so it's like I had him all to myself. And so I took a whole 3 weeks out of working, but at the time the kids were quite small, so I was also on a bit of string picking them up every day. But we had a few hours each day, and he'd send me stuff over the internet, and I'd get just a noise. And it's just that kind of impetus to start writing. And so we just, over the internet and on 2 different continents, put together this album on GarageBand, and we called the project Crown Estate because he loved piano magic, and that was one of their songs. started to put it out, but that was in 2015. I started, no, it was 2014. I'd kind of gotten around to doing a single and then another little single, and it was getting a little bit going. And then I thought, well, then I'll launch the album. But then I got run over by a car.
Oh shit!
In France.
What twist?
And just couldn't work for 3 months because it kind of messed all my shoulder and again the brain fragmentation of just trying to kind of just get, well, you'll know, Mary, you know, any kind of like physical medical thing is hugely interruptive even when you're healing.
Definitely.
So I just couldn't do anything, and I was like, oh God, I've really got to do something. So that then led into me doing I Am Her, because I thought, well, I haven't got the mental capacity to know how to put this thing out, and actually we can't perform live because he's now in America and I'm here. So actually what I want to do is I want to get back to singing, and I want to get back to performing. So I just started performing my own stuff. I thought, well, I'm just going to have to do it by myself then. It doesn't matter, you know. And there's that thing, if you're doing it by yourself, of like, there's no one around to validate you. If you work with people, it's like they're going, well, I think you're good enough, so let's do it. And you're like, well, I must be good enough then. Great, off we go. But if it's just you have to tell yourself that you're good enough, which I think, again, being female can be a hindrance in that. Very good at telling
ourselves. That's so true. Yeah.
We're not very good. I think I've just done it about 10 times already in this podcast, as if to prove a point. So that was quite tough. But anyway, Crown Estate didn't happen, but it's all kind of sitting there. We have put 3 tracks out, or 2 tracks. So I just thought, oh, do you know what? I'll put that out, but I haven't yet, but I will be putting it out.
For Lilith Ai and MIRI, I don't know who wants to answer first, but what do you have on your musical horizons right now? Are there plans, or is nobody making any plans because there are no plans to be made?
I'm saying that I'm gonna work on new music. So I'm gonna work on another single with my friend who produced the recent one, Just Breathe. And I just realized from doing that, I just want to keep creating, really, and just enjoying the process and putting it out. And then I'm going to also in January just apply for funding, like PRS, or just see what's out there. And yeah, just apply for funding to do a full project. Like, I'd love to do an album.
Arts Council.
Yeah, Arts Council as well. There's one funding with PRS that I just, I want to really just give it a good go, because I haven't been very, I think any artist finds application fund, you know, that stuff, it's quite intense. But yeah, so the plan is to basically just to keep creating and just to keep exploring other ways, like as artists, that, you know, to make money basically, you know, as we're not kind of gigging. So things like sync licensing and all of that stuff. Like, I've got
one of my sync licensing. I have never heard of this.
Kate.
It's having like your song on a documentary or on an advert or a film, and then you get paid. And some people, like, I saw someone tweet the other day and they were just like, I'm so glad I've got that, because that allows me to make money in my sleep. And, you know, it is possible for artists, but it's just, I think, being open to different opportunities. But I've got a song that's going to be in a documentary, actually, and I'll get paid for that. So, you know, it's possible. There's, So
actually, so this might be useful information for other people, like, because I know, because I used to work in the industry, there's a load of different ways that you can get your songs into sync. But how did you get yourself into a sync rotation?
It's just been through, so far it's been through people that I've kind of met in other musical circumstances, and then they've been working on a project and reached out. I do have 1 or 2 people I know who work in sync, so every time I do something new, record something new, I send it to them, and just so they've got it. So if anything, because I know how particular some briefs can be, but you just never know. If they've got my songs and something came up and they're like, oh, let me try, you know, this. But yeah, so far it's been through people that I know. But it's good. It's good if you can make connections with music supervisors and music supervisors who are really kind of, I think, maybe passionate about independent artists or what you're doing, because then they'll champion you and they'll keep you on their radar. So
yeah, I think that's a really important point. I mean, that, you know, contacts are always great to have, even though it's kind of, networking is painful and everybody hates it. And like, if you know people in the industry, that is an absolutely excellent in, but sync can be really good opportunities for and finding new artists, as long as you can get yourself on a platform where you can be heard somehow.
Yeah, and it is possible. I think it's almost kind of like not relying on, you know, I find for myself anyway, if I just have to just keep doing what I'm doing and just being open and keep connecting with people and just sort of following the signs in a way. Like if I see a post on Facebook or Twitter or something, you know, sometimes I've kind of connected with people through that. Mm-hmm. So, and it leads to things. So yeah, that's...
No, I mean, I think these are really important tips for anyone who's trying to do this sort of thing. So thanks for sharing.
Join me again next week.
For more
Mary's tips. Mary's tips. I'll write a theme tune, sing the theme tune.
I have no doubt you will. In fact, you literally did just write and sing the theme tune.
I sang it.
Now I see why you're so good at sync. I get it.
They love me. Still, you know. Yeah.
Brilliant. Now I'm really pleased for you. So, go on, Kate.
So Lilith, what's on the horizon for you at the moment?
Okay, well, I have been quite prolific, I think, during the lockdown. I had like some other stuff happening, so I don't know if it was good or bad, like doing as much stuff as I did, and I have I've basically put out 7 singles this year, and yeah, it's a lot. And I've got another one which I want to come out, but it's waiting to be mixed, and my friend still hasn't mixed it for me, so I'm just waiting for that to happen. So I don't know if I'll put out another one this year, but I'm gonna put out probably one in January or maybe February, depending on how long it takes to get back stuff. Then I just had this idea of doing a totally acoustic album. I've also been doing a bunch of animation, like this year, but like it's been weird. Like I've been like kind of in and out of hospital, and I've like had a bit of a mad year. So I haven't like, but I still put out loads of stuff. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me because I came out of hospital and like did a live stream, and it was the shittest live stream I've ever done, but I still did it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
In your opinion, there's your opinion and there's how others perceive it.
I mean, it was mental. I don't know what's wrong with me, but like I don't know what I'm doing. I literally have no idea what I'm doing at the moment with my life. I guess I'm feeling like all my plans go wrong, and so I don't know about making anymore. Like I'm just gonna do stuff, but I'm not really gonna make. Before I would really make plans. And now I'm just kind of more like, I'm obviously going to stay creating stuff and doing whatever I'm doing musically and art-wise and stuff. But I'm just making less of a plan now. Like, I think
this is a year where there are literally no plans to be made. Like, if you can actually creatively output, you're already onto a massive winner compared to so many people.
Yeah, exactly.
And there is no point in planning because who the fuck knows what's going to happen or not happen.
Yeah, like who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's pointless. So I think that you are definitely fighting the good fight, whatever happens.
Yeah, like I'm just keeping going. Basically, I have no idea what I'm doing or what I've done. I'm just trying to not end.
Lilith, do you work with a label or a manager or anything like that? You do everything yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I do, I do everything myself. Every single time I've worked with a manager or a label, they literally it's all gone wrong. Like, they've just like, or they either like spend ages like telling me not to do anything, and then they tell me that everything I've done isn't good enough or isn't right. Or they like, basically that's what happens every single time. Every single time I work with someone, they come up and they're like, I love what you're doing, want to be involved, and then I do stuff like with them kind of involved, and then they're like, oh, we don't like any of this, what are you doing, you know? So
literally every time I've heard you sing, I mean, not to blow too much smoke up your ass, but every time I've heard you sing, I've just completely been thinking, how is this person not a massive star? by now. You've got so much talent, and and as you've just said, you've had a really difficult year, but yet you've just churned out all of these amazing singles and done a load of animation as well. There's just kind of so much kind of work that you can do. I think you've just been really unlucky not to meet the right manager. So if the right manager is out there, just sign by. Just Jesus. I mean, I'd do it myself, but I'd do a terrible job.
Yeah,
Cassie, see, there we go again. You wouldn't at all.
I think
I'll do it, Lilith.
Let's all do it with her.
Yeah, you can all do it.
This is probably like a longer conversation for another day about how we all continually put ourselves down, where as the men folk do not, and actually we are probably more capable. Discuss.
No, definitely, yeah.
I just think it's just like, I mean, I just, the way I have to like do things to get through things is basically just telling myself that you have to just make it about the creation and not about what happens to the creation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have to make it about like whatever you've made, like whatever song it is or album or EP or whatever you've done. You just make it about doing that and less about what happens with it, and not even what, like, I used to like contact people and stuff like that. And now I don't. I just put it out, and if people want to listen to it, then they will, and if they don't, then they don't. And it takes away the like
nastiness.
Yeah, the nastiness of it, because you're just like, well, that's what I did. I don't know. I just had to unplug. But I've been so distracted by other shit that I haven't even like. I've realised how it's not actually important. I don't think, I mean, it'd be nice, but it isn't actually as important as other things in life. There's much more important things than making records. And actually, I used to get really down about only this many people streamed my song, or I didn't get anything. I put it forward, or I applied for this grant and I didn't get it. And I used to get really down about it, and now I just kind of think, well, it's not, how weird is it? I mean, I still do feel sad about stuff like that, but I mean, it's kind of so weird that your value or your happiness or your worth in what you've created musically or artistically is around how many people have liked it on Instagram, or it's kind of it's kind of sad that's what we've kind of been reduced to. And so I try to not care about it, or care about it less. One weird thing that happened to me that was really kind of hard, was a bit of a gut punch this year, was that I had applied for this support this artist in some competition, and then this girl that I knew who started doing music at the same time as me in 2016 2015, she was the judge. And I was like, oh, okay, that really put it into perspective, that her career had just gone up and up and up. And mine obviously was I'm still trying to break through,
That she was judging and not making.
And she was the judge of the competition. There was a judge, I think there was a panel of 5 judges, and she was the female judge of the competition. And I was just Jesus, it really shows you But and she had been discovered and signed. I think she signed to Universal. On this night that we used to do together in Dalston, we used to do this night in a coffee shop, and where it was called Fight Like a Girl, where we all played music, and she got discovered by her manager and signed to a label, and then basically just was really successful, and I didn't. So that's what you can do. That's way more stuff. I think this year I just had things happen to me that made me just put it in perspective, that actually it's just music, which we all love and we want to do, but you know.
Yeah.
And hey, you're here on the Dorising podcast, and she's not.
Yes,
She's not. We didn't even ask her name. Nobody
She was probably one of the people I texted today, and she didn't turn up. So
She probably is, actually. She probably is. But yeah, it's funny. It's fun. It's a funny world. It is really funny. It's really weird. It's a very strange year. Like this year, it's just I don't know, and I don't know what's gonna happen even next year. Like,
I'll be. I think a lot of us will be so pleased when live performing comes back, because amongst all this stuff where you're putting stuff out and you don't get hung up on if you get famous or not, but there's still that lovely moment of playing for some people listening to music that seems to make, for me anyway, it makes it all worthwhile. So
I miss it.
I miss it world so without that.
I miss it so much, and it just really made me. This year really made me realize how much I rely on live performing for my kind of in a bad, not in a like I know it's not in a, but I don't know what way it is, but in like a kind of, is it good that it makes me feel good? Like it's a thing, you know what I mean? Shouldn't I just feel, I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like maybe I should just feel that good about myself anyway. Like, shouldn't we?
Well,
it's a magic alchemy though, live performance.
Yeah.
It's like it's a communication between somebody who's producing something and some people.
Yeah. There's this Annie DeFranco song which I can't remember exactly what it says, but it says something like, it's some kind of metaphor about like, does it need to be mic'd? Do you need to have everybody adore you for it to be important? And so, and I don't know. And I think, I do want that, obviously. Like that is, I do feel like that.
But I think it's just some people just really get and I'm one of them, just really get a buzz from
I really do.
From putting something out and getting that feedback and having your voice heard by a lot of people. And this is why we're doing this podcast, for want of being able to go and play a gig every week or so.
Yeah.
I was really feeling what Lilith was saying basically, and I've totally gone through that for years. Or I've seen like my peers, go on to win Brit Awards and Grammys and be touring, and especially as I get older and like through doing music for so long, it's so easy to look at oneself and be like, oh my gosh, I haven't achieved this. Or even when I'm working with young people and I think like, oh, but I haven't done this yet. But what I've learned is exactly what Lilith's saying basically. It's kind of, I think it's important not to take away what we are and what we do, and we create music that resonates with people, and that's really special. And there are people out there, and me from doing it for like I first got into music, I mean, I don't look my age, but like over 20 years ago, like my little musical path started. And there's been times over the years where I'm like, why am I still doing this? But I've just decided I have to keep doing it, and I have to keep pushing forward and creating. And it took me a long time, but I'm not saying I'm completely there yet, but I enjoyed my last release so much more because I didn't have that expectation. I just wanted to create something and connect with people through what I was creating. But there was something so freeing that came with it. Like, that's not to say I didn't want any love, for it, but I wasn't like thinking like, come on, Jules Holland, like give me a shout. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
you should, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but yeah. So I guess I was just like really, really connecting with what Lilith was saying, and like when Lilith, you were playing that song, I mean, that totally got me. That was, it might not be in the charts today, but that song is real and authentic, and you know, that we sow a seed, and you just never know where it's kind of, you don't know who your music is helping and connecting. And I think it's just kind of, we just have to, I think it's important to have this dialogue, to keep having this dialogue, because this idea of being stars, and obviously, yeah, I'd love to be touring, well, after lockdown, touring around the world and knowing I can actually sell tickets, like, as to oppose like just doing like gigs for donations hats and stuff. But at the end of the day, I just think anything is possible, but I don't think it should take away from what we're already doing and like what we're doing as artists, you know, because we're creating something that is authentic, and the world needs that and people need that. And you just never know, you just never know when you might get that moment. Do you know, like I might go through my whole life and never have a big moment like my peers, but I look back and I think if I hadn't have done music, I wouldn't have known all of you. I wouldn't have like run Blue Monday and met, like that has like literally brought in challenging moments like joy in my heart. Like I remember just doing like this little tour with my friend in like a music tour, a few gigs around East Germany. And there was one gig we did, there was like no one there. And the woman like running it, she was just like lying on this sofa sort of thing while me and my friend, but I loved it. And my friend was like, oh, I feel really bad because I've organised this and no one showed up. But for me, I'm like, I'm in East Germany, like it's warm, whatever. You know, this is a memory. And like, for me, I look back at that memory and it makes me giggle, and it reminds me of good times. So obviously, you know, we deserve to be heard and we deserve more people to hear what we do. But in the meantime, you know, the people who we are connecting to, like literally when I heard your song, Lilith, when you were playing, I suddenly, it's when you just hear truth. And it's like, I just felt, oh, this is like inspiring me to write. And I don't always feel inspired to write so much anymore, because I sometimes went through a stage was like, well, what's the point in writing songs if no one's going to hear them? Obviously, you know, we write to express ourselves, but sometimes I think I just get a bit down on like, oh, I want to watch box sets. That's my way of really expressing myself, even though I'm just watching them. But hearing you just play, like, I know that that's a song that I'd have that on repeat, and that would be getting me through the day.
You can download it.
I know the song. I'm gonna do it now. What's the name of the song?
It's called Shank's Pony, that song.
Okay,
and it comes from a thing like my dad's like, I think it's really weird. Like, you know, Cockney accents don't really exist now. But my dad's
depends where you go.
Yeah, like my dad's like an old Londoner with a Cockney accent, and Shank's Pony is some kind of Cockney thing where you say, like, you know, take Shank's pony, which means that you're going to walk. Yeah. Like, but no one knows what it means now. Like, only, like, but my dad would always be, like, telling me stories about how to, I don't know how true they were, but how I had to walk everywhere when he was a kid or whatever. And, like, the song's just about kind of just like that, about that. But, yeah, that's what it's called, Shank's Pony.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
What do you think about like the new 90s resurgence and the, like, you know, Biba Doobie and like all the people sounding like 90s bands? I love it. Yeah,
I really love her. I like the sort of nostalgic feel that I get from listening to her music as well.
Yeah,
it takes me away.
Yeah,
I'm still in the 90s. I mean,
I never left the 90s.
I just people talk about 90s fashion coming back. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just here in my boot-cut jeans and my scoop neck top, and that's just me.
You know, some Doc Martens and maybe some fisherman's like jumpers with like stripy tights and shit. Like, I just wait for it to come back round in circles and then declare myself cool at the appropriate moment. All that needs to happen here. You can never go out of fashion if you're never either in or out of it.
Exactly.
I tell you what doesn't go out of fashion is these pennies.
No, these pennies will never go out of fashion. We'll always be in these pennies, no matter what.
But, like, thank you all, lovely
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Bye.
See you later, everyone.
Stay healthy, everyone.
So lovely.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye now.
Panic on the school run and the kids are starting fights. Cat piss on the homework and pants outside my tights. I forgot to brush my teeth and the baby's nappy smells. But I make it to the school gate. I'm safe on the bell. Wonder Woman, Superwoman, every woman, you're too fine. Working through my lunch break and I dream of 9 to 5.